Hello, this is Catherine Maley, author of Your Aesthetic Practice, What Your Patients Are Saying. And today I'll be presenting how to hold a patient event that's fun and profitable. So here's what you're going to discover. How to turn your event into a money-making machine that gives you a return on your investment for years to come. How to fill the event with prospective new patients who are eager to say yes to you. Who should be at your event to build up your word-of-mouth referral sources. And what you and your staff should focus on during the event to make all of your hard work pay off big time. Now, the obvious question to ask is why have or why bother having a patient event? It seems like an awful lot of work and you're already too busy, so what's the point? My response to that is yes, it does take effort to pull off a successful event. However, the following benefits should far outweigh the effort. For starters, it's a revenue-generating evening that can bring in anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars in just a few hours if you execute it properly. Next, it increases your name recognition because the promotional efforts will get a buzz going about you and your practice. For example, by mailing out a hard copy invitation, you're communicating with your patients and reminding them of you and your services. That alone will prompt some of them to RSVP. It may even motivate others to call you to make an appointment now because they don't want to wait, or perhaps they can't attend your event, but they do want to see you. The point is, your hard copy invitation is right in front of them and is compelling them to interact with you. It effortlessly increases your word-of-mouth referrals, since patients will invite their friends, family members, and coworkers to attend your event so they don't have to go alone. And while at the event, they will most likely rave about you to their friends and the attendees standing around them and share their anecdotal experiences. By the way, we all know there's no better referral than a friend telling a friend how great you are and how happy they are with their results thanks to you. Now, it's a great way for long-lost patients to reconnect with you. I guarantee you have several patients who somehow wandered away from your practice and are now too embarrassed to return on their own. Perhaps they went to your competitor, got a less than stellar result, and would now gladly come back if given the opportunity. So give them a good reason to return. Invite them and a friend to your event so they can see what and who is new in your practice. An event's also a fantastic, fun, and educational way to cross-promote comparable aesthetic procedures, products, and services you offer. This is important because an aesthetic patient who wants to look their best will be open to a variety of solutions you can offer them for aesthetic enhancement. Your busy aesthetic patients are also looking for ease and convenience, so become their one-stop shop as much as you can. Not only will they appreciate you addressing their wide variety of concerns, this simple concept will increase your revenues per patient and decrease the cost of advertising for new patients. Spending face-to-face time with your patients is invaluable if you want to build a loyal following. The personal interaction with you builds a bond as well as loyalty with your patients. It'll also keep your name front and center when they are ready for aesthetic services. This face-to-face time with your patients, as well as prospective patients, helps them choose you over your competitors they haven't met in person. And lastly, a patient event can re-energize your staff. It can help your staff feel more connected to you and the other staff members, since you're all working together on this project. The camaraderie helps them feel plugged in, excited, and motivated, and that is priceless. So a patient event can be just the surge of energy you need to wake up and shake up your staff, your practice, and even you. Now that you know why you should have a patient event, let's talk about how to do it. Now, here are the steps to take to ensure a successful and profitable patient event. By the way, the following strategies I'm about to outline are not theory. They're based on my own experience of coordinating more than 50 events throughout my career. So let's start with selecting a coordinator. Now, while everyone needs to pitch in and help, you need one person to be responsible for overseeing the entire project. The coordinator is responsible and accountable for directing the others to ensure the details are handled and nothing falls through the cracks. Hopefully, you have a staff person who enjoyed planning their wedding or their sister's baby shower. However, if you don't, you can always contract with your wife or an outside consultant. Now you want to pick a day and time. The best nights to hold a patient event are Thursday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, in that order. And be sure there's nothing else major planned that evening, such as a national presidential debate or a local popular event that could hurt your attendance. The event time that works the best is right after work, so your patients can go straight from their office to your office instead of going home to change and then changing their mind to going out at all. And be sure to clear the date with your staff so they have enough notice and they'll be available. It's important to involve your vendors. The vendors that sell your products and services want you to succeed. It helps them when they help you. So your vendors should play a pivotal role in your patient event. Have your coordinator contact each of your sales representatives early in the process. You want to be sure they're available to attend and participate in your event. You also want to talk to your vendors about ways they can support you. Vendors can often offset the costs of the food, they can prepare gift baskets and gift certificates for drawings, and they can provide samples for the attendees. Most of them have budgets and products they can use at their discretion. The vendor's role at your event is to do the selling or the promoting for you so you and your staff can relax and schmooze with your patients. Be sure to give your vendors space to display their brochures, samples, etc., so they can promote their own product or service directly to your patients. It's also fun and interesting for your attendees if the vendors can conduct demonstrations. Now, it's important this be a win-win for you and your vendors, so be sure they understand the promotional value they get from your event. For example, you will include their name and logo in your hard copy invitation that goes out to your patient database, your soft copy email message sent to all emails in your database, your advertisement in your local publication for additional exposure, and then, of course, their opportunity to have one-on-one time with your patients. Now, if many of your vendors can provide samples that evening, a fun thing to do is to hand out a customized vendor bag and a pen to each attendee so they have fun going from vendor to vendor, collecting samples, taking notes, and learning more about each product and service. Suffice it to say, your vendors can be extremely helpful to you. They want to help you promote their products and services, so it would behoove you to work with them. Now, to help your patient event be special, use a celebrity if you know of one, and it doesn't have to be Oprah. It can be somebody local that others would know. You can announce in your invitation the celebrity will be available for photos and autographs. And be sure to have a theme for your event. For example, grand opening, holidays are here, patient appreciation, or ladies' night out all work well. You may also consider turning it into a fundraiser where a portion of the proceeds goes towards a good cause. All of the above strategies can help draw a lot more people to your event and could help with your PR. More on that later. When it comes to catering, you need to decide how fancy you want to get and what image you're trying to portray. My experience has shown the more you spend on these details, such as catering, the better results you get. Patients will remember and talk about a beautifully catered event that ran smoothly, so details count. You need to decide if you want paper plates or white linen, cheese and crackers, or hot hors d'oeuvres. I would suggest if patients are coming from work, they need heavy hors d'oeuvres to keep them there, so they don't leave your event for dinner elsewhere. And offer one-bite hors d'oeuvres that don't need dipping or cutting. Your attendees are already juggling a glass and a plate and a purse, so make it easy for them. And be sure some of your food is vegetarian. Now, depending on your demographics, party trays from your local grocer could work just fine. Or you may have a patient in the catering or wine business that could provide the food and wine at a discount if you promote their business or winery in your invitation. Now, serve wine or other specialty drinks, but police it. It helps relax people and makes it a more fun atmosphere and more conducive to shopping. However, pour small half glasses and monitor things in case you have some drinkers. You want them relaxed, not drunk. Be sure to have plenty of soft drinks and mineral waters on hand as well. And assign people to bus the event to keep things neat, tidy, and well stocked. Some of the doctors have used their own teenagers, and that's worked really well. Okay, now you want to design and mail an invitation. Make your invitation as inviting as possible so your patients pick your event over all the other places they could possibly be that evening. Pick a theme such as a fall event, holiday party, spring event, and like I said, ladies' night out works really well. Make the invitation eye-catching, fun, professional, and include benefits as to why your patients want to attend your event. Some ideas are food, wine, drawings, special pricing, samples, and demonstrations. Be sure to add bring a friend or friends on the invitation and have them RSVP several days before the event to help you gauge how much food and wine to order. By the way, when patients RSVP, get their cell phone number if you don't have it already, and promise to call them to remind them just like you do for their appointment. This will help attendance by decreasing no-shows. Mail your invitation up to 3 weeks ahead of time. You want to give your patients enough notice so they get it on their calendar and block it out from other events. An important part of the invitation should be used to collect contact information so you can follow up with the attendees after your event. Add a section that says bring this card with you filled out so it can be used as the entry card for the drawings you'll be having throughout the evening. Now you want to spread the word, and here's how. Mail your invitations to your patient database so they arrive at least 3 weeks ahead of time, and don't forget to invite those patients who came in for a consultation but never booked, as well as those patients you haven't seen for a while. Also, invite any colleagues or non-competing specialties that could become a good referral source for you. Announce it in your patient newsletter and on your website. Blow up your invitation as a big poster to display in your reception area. Mention the event on your telephone on-hold message. Be sure staff talks about it with visiting patients. And use every social media channel possible. That includes your fan page, each staff's Facebook and fan pages, Twitter it, Instagram it, and so on. Turn your hard copy invitation into an email message that can be emailed to your current patient database. Be sure to add, forward this to a friend, and bring a friend to help spread the word to new prospective patients. Send a press release to your local media outlets telling them what, when, why, and how. Mention your celebrity or your fundraiser cause, and they may just cover your event if it's a slow news day. You just never know. You can also upload your press release on the internet by using a paid service called prweb.com or a free service called freepr.com. Now, this probably won't do anything to help your attendance. However, it will help your search engine optimization efforts, and that helps prospective patients find you when they're surfing the internet. Print extra invitations to pass out to your neighbors, other businesses in your building, nearby salons, spas, high-end retail shops, chamber of commerce, health clubs, personal trainers, anyone that shares the same demographics as you. They may agree to pass out your invitations, announce your event in their own newsletter, and they can attend your event to get to know you better. That alone could lead to referrals from you or from them. You can even take it one step further and align with them on a cross-promotional event. Design the invitation with both of your logos and send it to both of your databases. The point of aligning with others is that it helps you grow your prospective patient database fast. It also gives you instant credibility and prestige because these alliances are more or less introducing you to their patients and customers. It's also cheaper since you're sharing the promotional costs. Get buy-in from your staff. Now, not all staff members will be thrilled to stay after hours for a party, so you need their buy-in to make this successful. Have a meeting and tell them what you're planning on doing and then get their input. They've got some great ideas. Most likely, you'll have to pay them for the extra hours or offer them a piece of the action, such as a percentage split evenly among all staff members who participated, and it goes towards everything sold that evening. This added bonus could make the difference between them standing around looking bored to actually proactively schmoozing and promoting you and your services. You need staff at the front door and at the front desk so they can have product ready to go, they can ring up quickly, and they can make appointments. And be sure they understand the special pricing that evening. Staff should wear special t-shirts, hats, or uniforms, or at least name tags so patients know who to turn to for help. And use iPads for fast checkout, since a lot of money is lost when your processes are slow. And prepare your office by putting everything away except the essentials so nothing walks away. Have plenty of counter space for visitors to put their plates and cups down. Display vendor signs so patients know who they're talking to, and have arrows to the food and the mini presentations so visitors know where to go and when. Have fresh flowers on hand, and protect your counters with white linen cloths. Have plenty of garbage cans handy. Candles are a nice touch, and soft music helps make this a relaxing atmosphere. My experience has shown that you could have a 50% no-show on the RSVP, but you can make up for that with those who never bothered to call. So it can be a tough way to gauge the food amount. However, it's always best to have too much food than not enough. Now, to help with attendance, have your receptionist make reminder calls 24 to 48 hours ahead of time. She can answer the last-minute questions, and this acts as a great bonding tool as well. And now that everyone has a smartphone, ask them if they want a text reminder the morning of. Then use a text reminder service to make it easy. Hosting the big night. Now, little touches can make all the difference. Display huge balloons and special lighting and outside signage to make it easy to find your office, especially for your new visitors. And add a red carpet. And if you have any difficult parking issues, use a valet service or display signs directing the visitors to easy parking. You want to make this effortless so everyone arrives happy and relaxed. Now have your friendliest staff member at the door greeting your patients. The responsibility of this hostess is to welcome the visitors to an evening of fun and education and make them feel comfortable. She should explain how the evening will unfold so they know what to expect. For example, a nice touch to help break the ice is to give them a free pen from one of your vendors or your own customized pen, as well as a program outlining this evening's agenda, as well as the special pricing that's good for that evening only. Now, this is vitally important. They must understand you have fantastic offers for them this night only, no exceptions. You need the sense of urgency to prompt them to act tonight rather than wait. So you list the procedure, your regular price, and then tonight's price so they see the savings in hard dollars. They may even stock up for the year, which is wonderful, and it ensures they return to you all year rather than wander off to your competitors. This hard copy program can also be an order form they complete to help speed up the checkout process. It's also the responsibility of the hostess to collect the attendees' contact information for future communications. Now, the easiest way to get that information is to have drawings for beautiful vendor gift baskets and gift certificates that they can win throughout the evening. Now, the gift certificates are from your own office, and they include procedures that can easily be done by your staff, such as facials, peels, and microdermabrasions, as well as micropenning. The point here is to see the winners again in your office to redeem their gift, sign up for additional procedures, and help spread the word about you. They can fill out and bring their invitation with them, and be sure to have extras on hand in case they forget theirs. While at the event, you should be educating your patients, because this is not about high-pressure sales. It's all about educating your patients about solutions to their problems. The more they interact with you and understand what you offer addresses their particular concerns, the more likely they are to stay, pay, and refer their friends. Give your guests something to do while at your event and educate them about the possibilities. Here are some ideas. Display your before and after photo albums for them to thumb through. Display your testimonial books so they can read patient stories about how you helped others. Run silent, looped PowerPoint presentations of patient before and after photos. Have your vendor demonstrate easy and painless procedures, such as microdermabrasion on the hand, and conduct fun makeup sessions. And have retail testers available, since an aesthetic patient is much more likely to buy if they can touch and experience products firsthand. Use your skin analysis machine and/or computer imaging system to do the talking for you. It's always more compelling for the patient to see their own skin concerns than the result they could expect than look at somebody else's. Now, as a side note, many years ago, I coordinated an event for a plastic surgeon and his patient care coordinator was doing computer imaging, and two of the women came back the following year for facelifts. That one strategy was worth tens of thousands of dollars to him. Now, since it's an evening of fun and education about what's new in the world of cosmetic enhancement, give short talks 2 or 3 times throughout the evening to small patient groups. Show before and after photos, explain the procedures, and then allow for Q&A. You want to interact with your attendees so they feel comfortable enough with you to book a consultation or even put down a deposit that evening. Your talk should also prompt them to go back out to the vendors to learn more and/or to talk to you one-on-one about their own personal interests. You don't want to provide a full surgical consultation, only the basics so they come back to learn more. During the event, it's also fun to take digital photos throughout the night of the attendees. With their agreement, of course, you can add them to your website and other promotional pieces throughout the year. It's also a great opportunity to use video to tape your presentation, as well as your patient testimonials and stories. Then get their permission and put clips on your website. And use social media to help this event get you even more exposure. For privacy and HIPAA rules, you can set up a photo booth in the corner or have your guests sign release forms. Then you want to encourage them to Facebook their friends. A goodie bag on the way out is always a nice touch. Fill it with vendor samples, your promotional items, and be sure to include a welcome back gift card they can use on their next visit. Also, make it transferable to their friends, family members, and coworkers just in case they're not ready for enhancement, but they know others who are. But you're not done. Let's talk about the morning after. Because you put an awful lot of work into this event, you want to follow up because that's a crucial part to your success. So you send a thank you email message to everyone since you now have their email address from the drawing entry forms. You send a handwritten note to those who purchased saying thank you and you look forward to seeing them again. You have your staff call to extend a very special get to know you offer to those who did not purchase that evening. And add everyone to your database so they can be invited to future events. But this is not the end of the project. It's actually the beginning of new relationships with prospective patients and ongoing relationships with your current patients, so the follow-up is forever. Here's another way to look at it. It's courting for marriage versus a one-night stand because you want your name and only your name to pop into your patient's head when they're ready for aesthetic enhancement. Now, you can't know the true return on your investment on any promotional project if you're not willing to track it. You need quantifiable data to determine how you proceed in the future. So you want to track how many attended your event. Of those who attended, how many were current patients and how many were friends of patients, otherwise known as new prospective patients. Who bought that evening? What did they buy? Broken down by procedure, treatment, and product. Now, each vendor will appreciate this data since they need to report back to their management. So what were the revenues generated in total? Were these regular patients stocking up on what they normally buy from your practice or new procedures they are now ready to try? The point is to find the trends in the numbers so you can capitalize on them for future events. And please, before this quickly becomes a distant memory, have a debriefing meeting with your staff to learn what worked well, what you should discontinue doing, any improvements for next time, as well as attendee feedback. This will save you so much time and get you better results for the next events, since you'll learn so much about your patients and their preferences from this time. And if you want even more detail about how to hold a successful patient event that is fun and profitable, you'll find it at morepatientsacademy.com. And for a very special price just for being on this webinar. So when you join me at More Patients Academy Online Learning Center, here's what you get. 16 of my most popular online training modules ready for immediate viewing on a variety of patient attraction, staff training, practice building, and leadership topics. And not only do you get the video modules to watch, you also get the PowerPoint slides so you can follow along. You can also swipe the scripts and strategies straight from my materials. For example, you get the exact invitation template I use to fill up an event with patients ready to buy. You simply go to that module and you'll see the graphic template used. More Patients Academy is something you'll have as a resource for the rest of your career, and it's where I train your staff for you so they attract more patients to your practice, so they convert more callers to appointments, so they convert more consultations to paid procedures, and get your patients to return, refer, and review, all without the expense of sending your staff to expensive seminars or paying for air and hotel and food to attend industry events. Because I'll tell you, the most successful cosmetic surgery practices invest the time and money in never ending improvement. And they look to the experts to help them so they don't waste time reinventing the wheel or going down rabbit holes that don't lead to profits. They sharpen their saw by training and retraining their staff. They keep them motivated and they don't rest on their laurels. They're constantly looking for incremental changes to perfect their processes, so they stand out as the best choice over their ever-growing list of competitors. So here's how they use More Patients Academy. They use it for team building. They block the time, usually at lunchtime, since the modules are typically 30-ish minutes long. Food is brought in to save time, and they watch a module and then brainstorm to choose the top 2 to 3 strategies that will make the most difference for their particular practice. They then assign tasks to each staff member, add a due date, and get it done. This helps ensure their staff works together as a team for the good of the practice. The most successful practices also make this part of their onboarding process when new staff members join them. It saves time and it gives new hires the framework, the mindset, and the strategies they need to succeed. And since they own More Patients Academy Online Learning Center forever, they regularly use it as a valuable resource all year. For example, they watch the module How to Double Your Referrals this year, and they swipe the in-house signage strategies to increase the patient's value. Or they watch the module How to Follow Up After the Consultation who didn't convert, and they use the proven scripts provided to double their conversion rate. This makes it so much easier when you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time, and your staff will be more excited and motivated because they have the clarity and focus they need to grow your practice strategically. Now, here's what other practices said about these training modules at More Patients Academy. Dr. Asasa said Catherine Maley turned our practice around. We attended her How to Convert More Consultations webinar and implemented her system the following week. We converted more consultations in 1 week than we did in the entire month. Our practice went from a painful 50% no-show rate to a remarkable 85% show rate. And even more impressive was our close ratio. It went from 35% to 80% and continues increasing. We would recommend her to any practice that not only wants to increase their profits today, but to sustain a healthy flow of income for many years to come. Thanks, Catherine. And Dr. Corrado said our consult conversions were running at 40 to 50%. Then we attended Catherine's online training and implemented her strategies. They immediately increased conversion rates to 75 to 80%. Not bad. Now, Paula Millard said, More Patients Academy has been well worth the cost. We purchased the program specifically to provide staff training while Dr. Millard is out of the office. I also plan to use it for new employees. It's a cost-effective way to provide ongoing training without having to travel to meetings. In the first module, we had several ideas for things that we could immediately implement in order to improve conversion rates and distinguish ourselves from our competitors. I highly recommend this investment in your practice. Now, here's what Stephanie said. She's a patient coordinator in a very busy practice. She said, Catherine was so helpful to me in learning how to be the best coordinator I could be when I joined this busy cosmetic practice. Thanks to Catherine's training, I increased my knowledge, used her strategies, and my conversions went up enough to now be labeled the converting superstar in our practice. You go, Stephanie. And lastly, Dr. Ross says, Catherine's materials have been eye-opening for me and fascinating. They've helped me understand my patients and how they think, so I'm able to promote my aesthetic services to them effectively and professionally. I now see how important it is to get guidance on the patient's perspective, so they say yes to me. So now you're probably wondering, okay, how much is this? Well, just so you know, my fees are $15,000 for live consulting, where I come to your office to train you and I set up many of the processes I outline in these modules. Or you can pay $597 for each module individually when I do them as group online live trainings throughout the year. But that adds up to $8,955. But you get all of these training modules for one low investment of only $19.97. However, because you are on a webinar with me, I want to make this extra easy for you to say yes now. So it's only one small investment of $9.99. That's half off the regular price. And you can only get this price by being on this webinar and only if you act by Saturday. Once you invest, you have immediate access for a lifetime, no monthly fees or membership dues. Now, to get this incredible offer, you simply enter the promo code HALF, HALF, in the promo box at checkout, and it will deduct it automatically when you go to morepatientsacademy.com and then click on any of the modules. But that's not all. I'm also including 3 extra bonuses to make this a no-brainer. Bonus number 1, you get a free sample module talking about how to set up a consistent flow of patients and revenues that more than pays for the investment of More Patients Academy. It's called the Best Cosmetic Patient Marketing Plan. Now, you also get bonus number 2, which is my free ebook called Your Aesthetic Practice, What Your Patients Are Saying. It's a quick read for everyone in your practice, and it gives you a better understanding of what the cosmetic patient wants and needs to say yes to you. And then bonus number 3 is a strategy call with me personally to help guide you through sticking points that may come up or to answer any additional questions that you've got. But act right now, since this will disappear after Saturday, and the price will go back to $1,997. So you can dive in right away and make the changes you need in order to survive and thrive in today's competitive world. And you can hold a patient event following my strategies that will more than pay for this investment. That's it for now, and I hope you got a lot out of this. Take care, and please join me at morepatientsacademy.com. Put in